Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of Canal Days. As always, I'm your host, Carrie, along with my co-host, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Comoon. Our Canal Days series delves into the vast collection of historical sites throughout Massachusetts, with Robert's expertise of the local history as our personal guide. Each episode, we uncover history throughout local communities with historic houses, meaningful monuments, permanent pivotal pioneers, and remarkable remnants, all while we're uncovering their seminal significance. Today's episode of Canal Days will be traversing the Wright Reservoir of Holyoke, Massachusetts. So can you clarify for us where in Holyoke the Wright Reservoir is located?
It's next to the Ashley Reservoir, and so we'll talk about its history, its importance, and some of the structures around that area. It's extremely large and been cut up many times over. So to get to it, park at the Elks Club and then take the entrance road into the reservoir. The Ashley Reservoir is going to be to your left, and your Wright Reservoir is going to be to the right-hand side. In the beginning, it was called a Wright Pond. Now, there's many cut-offs, so when you walk around, you're going to see many pieces of it. Most of those pieces are towards the east direction, and you have what are walkways basically between these, because the reservoir system has made these many walkways. Not all the walkways have a piece. One doesn't, but three do. So that's how you get to it, and if you go around it, you can follow my tour on the Ashley and Wright Reservoir system.
And can you disclose the Wright Reservoir's history?
The first dam ever made in Holyoke to get a storage of water to use for drinking water was on the Wright Reservoir. It's still in place. It's at the very start of Rock Cut when you go around to the eastern, especially northeastern edge of Wright's Pond. You're going to see the path brings you over a large structure. Below that is the dam itself. It was made in the year 1873. It was the first natural water reservoir ever in the history of Holyoke. And there's a lot of reservoirs in Holyoke. This was the first, the Wright Reservoir. And they made a rock cut, which that means that they had to blast out the rock from the Wright Reservoir, head in the direction of Lower Homestead Avenue, but onwards to the top of Hitchcock Street with a pipe. They cut it out and they left an open hole, an open culvert. And this sluiceway was where the water would go through. They left it open because they thought that open air actually killed the germs. It's not true, but in 1873, they didn't know much about bacteria and how to kill it at all. And so they thought that open air let more oxygen and that would kill it. Not quite true, but at least they developed a great reservoir system with a sluiceway and a pipeline right into the city. They also put a gatehouse there. The gatehouse is not there anymore, but you can see where it is because the boundary of the sluiceway and the Wright Pond, our reservoir, has a foundation, and that foundation is where the gatehouse was. There, underneath that gatehouse, of course, there was a place where you could turn a knob and it would close up the pipeline for you. That's the definition of a gatehouse.
And we'll be right back after a few words from our sponsor. Are you fascinated by local history and eager to investigate the obscure treasures off the beaten path in the state of Massachusetts? Or maybe just seeking an unforgettable cultural activity for family and friends to enjoy? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Comoon. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, charming churches, or more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not it. You can also schedule private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized adventure and unforgettable moments. Perfect for families or groups of all sizes, making for an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com to book your private tour today. But wait, there's more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can even dive even deeper into the vital history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go or from the comfort of their home, Canal Days brings the adventure right to your screen. So don't miss out. Uncover the pivotal past with historical tours of Greater Holyoke to make your own history with memories that will last a lifetime. Remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information and secure your personalized experience today. Welcome back to our Canal Days episode of the Wright Reservoir. And can you reveal the special significance of the Wright Reservoir?
Yes, it has a lot of significance. The reason why, of course, is the first reservoir ever in Holyoke. And also because it has a great volume. And that great volume of water is very important in the history of Holyoke because water and fiber need to be cleaned after production. And Holyoke was a paper city and also a fiber city. And they had to be cleaned with clean, pure water. And so they need lots of reservoirs in such a great industrial city. Now, this Wright's Reservoir is also receives the water from the Pawcatuck Brook first. And so it had to have structures around it to calm down the water. And so for that reason, they put the Bray Reservoir just to the west of the Wright Reservoir, and I mean just by 100 feet. And that allowed the Pawcatuck to settle into a new reservoir and calm down. And then they put the Cedar Reservoir right beyond it. And then finally it got to feed into the Wright Reservoir. And even the Wright Reservoir, they have 4 sections. One section is towards the northern tip with a walkway, what is called a causeway, that is walkable. Then another one that's very easy to walk because it's right off the juncture of the Ashley and Wright system. That is a large causeway that helps calm the water down. And then to its east are 2 of them that you can't walk around, but at least you can walk alongside one of them. And there's one in the distance by about 300 yards on. And so the big thing with the Wright is to calm the water down, make sure the water can settle out sediments, and the sediments, mostly that kicked up mud, does settle. And then it'll flow via pipes into the Great Ashley Reservoir.
And can you illustrate for us the striking structures surrounding the reservoir?
Yes, most importantly, the structures themselves include 2 big water towers along the former rock cut, and those could store up to 2 days worth of water just by themselves, and they're flushed out constantly. Every day water is flushed through them, water that is used, so that the water inside them stays fresh. There used to be a caretaker's house along the edge of rock cut, along the edge of the woods there. At least the foundation and steps are still there. Of course, the rock cut is now covered over. They covered over once they figured out it was too much work leaving it exposed to leaves and needles from pine trees. And they covered that up, so the rock cut is still well taken care of in terms of they keep a lawn there and cut the grass. And then around it further, I described the Clare and the Cedar Reservoir. At the northern tip of the Wright, you have a former gate that's not used anymore, and you have a beautiful entrance sign. And of course, towards its south is the much greater, larger Ashley itself.
Thanks for listening to Canal Days and our episode on the Wright Reservoir, and for joining us on the journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden and overlooked marvels and their fascinating stories that shaped our past in the state of Massachusetts. A special thanks to Robert Camus, founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. Remember, you can find more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. And don't forget to keep exploring and discovering the history that is hidden in plain sight all around us. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune into our next episode of Canal Days